I'm standing in front of the box for our new television. We got a different Samsung 4K TV 90 days ago from Costco. It was this model, the Samsung JS8500D. It was 55 inches, and along with it we got a Bose soundbar. I think it was called the SignMate or SynMate 10, I believe. Anyway, we had it for 90 days. Overall, we liked it. The one thing we didn't like was there was so much glare on the screen that we had to turn the lamps off whenever there was a dark scene. Otherwise, the lamps would like glare into the screen and we couldn't see anything. So it was really hard seeing things when the screen was very dark. So we decided to return it and go up one step and go with this Samsung, which is the 8500, and we got it from Best Buy. It was roughly $400 or $500 more than the first one, and we considered getting the same model from Costco, but the Costco one was called the 850 as opposed to the 8500, and the guys at Best Buy told us that the reason they're different model numbers is although all the specs seemed exactly the same, they actually do some things interior-wise to cut down the price a little bit to be able to sell things at the prices that they do. So we would have actually gotten it from Costco because we love the 90 days, and then they add an extra year warranty onto anything that you buy, but we couldn't get it fast enough, and we're going out of town, and it just kind of didn't work out timing wise. So we got this one from Best Buy. We got the first one a couple days ago. We set it up last night. We also got this Samsung soundbar, which is the J650. And this TV, in addition to being 4K, is also 3D. We had a lot of problems setting it up, and there is nothing in the manuals, which are over here, but they're useless. So I thought I would do a quick video on what you do to set it up, seeing as how we've been through it now and we know what to do. So what happened with the first one was, it turns out that there was something messed up with the screen. The picture was horrible, and after hours of trying to figure out how to set it up, and then more hours on a phone call with support and going through all these different diagnostics, they wanted to set up a service call, and we're like, no way, we're just going to bring it back and get another one. So that's what we did today. However, Best Buy messed up, and the second one we brought home was actually the one that we had just returned. So this is now our third attempt, and I was going to show you how to put it together really quickly. So when you take it out of the box, the base comes in two parts. My husband put the base on, so he can explain that in a minute. But the other things that are in the box are this, which is called the Mini Connect box. And with it comes this little cable. It's pretty nifty. You plug the cable into the box, and then you plug the other end of the cable into the television. And this little box just sits on the table next to the television, and it has all your HDMI ports right there, and it's pretty cool. It makes it a lot easier. And the other box has this new remote control, which I guess a lot of people have complained about, but I watched another YouTube video about how you actually use it, and I don't know, I think it could be pretty cool because of this pointer thing. This guy was saying it's like Wemo technology. So we will try it out. We haven't actually had a functioning television to really test it out yet. So you get batteries. I put those into the remote, a bunch of cables that we're not going to use. There's these four little thingies, which look like they're feet for something. We can't figure out what they're feet for, and we're guessing that maybe it has something to do with if you want to wall mount it. Then a set of their 3D glasses. There's only one set. We looked online to get another set. It would be $18 from Walmart or $20 from somewhere else. Again, haven't been able to test them because we didn't have a working television. this little setup guide, which is completely useless, and the manual, which is completely useless, and that's pretty much it. Okay, so I'm going to get my husband now, and I'm going to show you how we did the cabling and how he put the base. Just remembered one thing while we wait for him. That was after we put the batteries in the remote, we couldn't actually get it to work with the television set. And when we talked to the guy from Samsung, he ultimately had us pair it. Nobody tells you how to pair it. So the way you pair it is you hold down this button here and this button here. So the return button and the extra button, and you hold them both down together for like 10-20 seconds, and then it pairs, and then the remote works with the TV set. So my husband is going to explain how the base goes together. It comes in two pieces, and this back piece, and then there's this front piece, which is like this bar. And how does it go together, or what do you do?
4 screws are attaching to this this black base. It first attaches to the bottom piece with 4 screws, and then this piece slides into this back, and then you put 4 silver screws in there.
Okay, one thing with the first time we thought was that it was messed up because it didn't seem like this was flush to the television, and then we discovered it's because that's supposed to be a cable keeper. But it turns out that all the cables are too thick to actually fit into it. Okay, and then to attach the second piece, or did that part explain how to do that too?
4 screws, yeah.
Okay, so that is the base. So next thing is the HDMIs. Okay, so this is the Connect cable. This is the Connect box. There's these little cap things on here. You gotta take them off. And then you plug one end into this port. And the other end, here, give me the camera lens, I'll show them. Sorry, I got it at a weird angle. Okay, the other end goes right in the back of the TV set, right there. And then the box is just gonna sit on this table, and we're gonna plug all the other cables into it. Okay, I don't know if you can see, but there. Okay, so the Mini Connect box is connected, and it's sitting down here. And the ports in the back of it, there's 4 HDMI ports. Don't know if you can really see that. So the first port is the one on the left. Maybe if I hold it up. The first port on the left, you plug the television, or the DVR in our case, into. The second one, we're plugging a Roku into. The third one, right now we're not using. And the fourth one says ARC on it. That is what we're plugging our soundbar into. So the soundbar only has one cable connecting the television to it, and you use the HDMI out on the soundbar, and then plug it into this HDMI ARC port on the Mini Connect. Okay, so now I've got all of the cables in, the TV, Roku, and the soundbar. And I forgot one other thing. We are doing an Ethernet cable, which comes out of our wall and goes into the back of the television set, right next to the Connect one. Okay, so everything is connected. My husband's gonna put the soundbar back up on the table. The only other cable going to the soundbar is just a power cable. And so the soundbar, I think, basically just has 2 components. The bar itself, and then I think this is called a woofer, but I'm not even entirely sure. The box that sits next to it, which just plugs into a power connection because it connects to the soundbar with Bluetooth. So we've got the soundbar connected to the TV set now through that HDMI cable that I mentioned. There's one other cable coming from the soundbar, and it's to the power cord. The soundbar is kind of weird in that we thought it should stand up, but it actually stands on its side, and then you have to kind of try and figure out how to tuck the cables down there. And then the other component of it is I think it's called a woofer, but I'm not even entirely sure, which is Bluetooth, so it doesn't even need to have a cable going to the soundbar. It just has a power cable that goes back into the power. And now we're gonna test it. I had problems putting the batteries in the remote, so my husband's gonna show you that really quick too. I did figure it out the second time. I think our first remote was goofy. So basically you slide it just a little bit, there's an arrow, and then after you slide it a little bit, then you kind of just pull it up and out. Okay, so he's gonna see what happens. Keep your fingers crossed.
Is the power cord in?
Ooh, I don't know. Okay, we actually turned it on. We had a slight mishap. I forgot to put the power cord on, and my husband just turned it on. Huge, huge, huge difference. The first one we had, it was all lines and it was real faded, and on the right-hand side it was like it was kind of cracked or something. I mean, there was like this long vertical strip that ran the full length of the screen that kind of looked like a crack, only a digital crack. It was really weird. So he's gonna run through the setup menu, but I'm super excited because the screen works. Yay.
Push the button, it's not going to
Oh, maybe you have to pair it. Or maybe you hold both of those down. Okay, so for whatever reason, the remotes don't come paired, it looks like. So it looks like it's paired now. And because we have an Ethernet cable, we don't have to put in a password, which is awesome. Got to agree to conditions. We're using a cable box. That's where I'm going to stop it for now. So we were having problems getting it to enter numbers, and we couldn't get the right menu up. What we ultimately did was we used this little round pointer key and put that pointer key into the location field up here and then pressed it. And then that brought up this different numeric pad that we just put the pointer key into each box and then press it and it enters it.
Look at the smart control tutorial.
Sure. It's really bizarre. They give you the smart control tutorial after you've had to use it and figure out how to work it. So we're going to put it in here, so if you have problems, you get to see it in advance. It's a universal remote, and you point it at whatever device you want to control, and it's not like an infrared one. It has to be within the line of sight. So you want to go and try it now? The cursor to the right, and then click that icon way over there where the arrow's pointing. I don't know exactly what they're having us do. Quick scroll. Try it now. Okay, so that's Samsung's little menu bar for things like Netflix, YouTube, Showtime, HBO, whatever. You download the app. They have some of the apps on there already, as you can see. If they don't, you download the app and then sign into your accounts. So how actually were you scrolling though?
Just rubbing it over.
You mean just move the circle?
Yeah.
Okay. Press and hold. Try it now. Huh. Use the directional buttons on your remote to focus the area marked. So this is kind of like the App Store, I think. This looks like the other Samsung that we had when I went in one night and downloaded a bunch of apps. Did you notice, was Netflix on there, or should we download it?
Let's see.
I think it was already on there, but we're probably going to want to put Showtime on. But I guess we probably can't do that because this is a demo. So you just move it to where you want it, and then you press that The enter key, which they're showing you, is the button that is the center button in between the 4 arrows. But we've mostly been using the little round button above that, which is the little pointer button. Somebody said they called it a Wemo button. I don't know. If you can't get the regular one to work, kind of works like a joystick, then try the little Wemo button because it works pretty nice. One other thing that's kind of bizarre. Oh, actually, okay, so the menu 1, 2, 3 button. So this is the menu we had before to enter the numbers for a zip code, but they wouldn't enter. Then we had to put the little pointer into the location field and click on it, and then it pulled up the other number pad. This number pad does not work for entering your location, but they don't tell you that. So I'm not exactly sure. So is that for changing channels, maybe?
Yeah, they say if your remote doesn't work, if you're.
Oh, okay. So, well, we must have the soundbar on because the sound is working, right?
Yep.
Okay. So one other little thing I was going to show you, if it's not too dark, that's kind of cool, is the power button for the television itself. Yeah, it's really dark back here.
Between what they're supposed
Okay,
to be.
it was too dark before. The power button, and not obvious at all, but it is this little silver thingy, and if you look at it really closely, it's pretty bizarre. It's actually like a little
At
joystick
Angie's List,
too.
we've always had just one
I don't
goal:
know if you
to
can
help our
see that,
members get.
but it has like
Legal hunting,
the center
and
button,
other kinds of
but
human
then it can kind
influences
of tilt
that we would
in
expect
4
in
different
a
directions, and it
outside
operates like a joystick.